What's up, guys? What's going on? Hope everybody is good. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy New Year to everybody. Um, and we're definitely being good. Obviously, we're going to be having some background noise due to the fact that I live in an apartment building. Ah, yes, the lovely aspects of an apartment building. Um, so, I'm going to wait for a couple more people to get in here really quick, and we're going to get started. Um, So just give me a moment. I'm actually. Oh wow, this looks really good. This is actually one of my best looking lives. You know, I have it in the background. I know it's weird. I have my girlfriend over here. She's gonna be reading the comments to me, so I just really want to focus on. I have a tendency to speak on something and then get sidetracked because I get sidetracked on the comments and stuff like that. And yeah, so pretty much that that is what we're going to be doing. So, all right. I'm going to wait for, like I said, I'm going to wait for a couple more people to join this, and then we will get started. So, yeah. So, first of all, like, put in the comments down below, how was your New Year's? How was your Christmas? Did you guys get car parts? Did you guys not get car parts? Did you guys get money for car parts? You know, just let me know. Shoot me, shoot me a message. This, that, and the third, and yeah. So, oh man, this is fun. This is. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't done a live with you guys since I don't know. Um, I haven't done a live. I know I missed a couple of months with lives. I usually do a live once a month in the beginning of the month every month. I think I didn't do my last live in since October, or even before that. So, and I know I haven't come out with just regular content the past 3 weeks, and there's reasons for that, which I will, which I will talk to you about, pretty much today in this episode, in this live. There's three of you guys watching now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start. What's up? Again, what's good? Like again, like I said before, I hope everyone had a good New Year. I hope everyone had a good Christmas. 2020 was a lot for a lot of people. For not just people but families, not just families but communities, and not just communities but states, countries, worldwide, nationwide, worldwide. Um, a global pandemic is what we were experiencing. Um, but it definitely put a lot of perspectives on life. It put a lot of perspectives on how should we approach life, should we appreciate. It also put emphasis on, like, there's families, there's people, there's families, there's communities that don't, that, either lost their job or don't have their job. Well, same thing. Or, don't have enough money because they either lost their job, now they don't have enough money to feed their families, pay their mortgage or their rent, um, to even simply just buy food. Um, and thank God, and I'm not sitting here speaking on myself, but I can only give you my example of, I thank God I didn't lose my job. My girlfriend didn't lose her job. We still live in a great apartment. Um, and, you know, like, we're good in regards of, like, this happening and stuff like that. But, um, I want to talk to you guys about really quickly, and this is just, we're going to get into cars because I do have some surprises for you guys. Don't worry. It's not all about, it is about life, but it's about cars. It's about cars. So if you can just hear my message for just like about a few minutes, then stick around because we do have some unboxings and I will let you know everything about future and stuff like that of 2021. Um, 2021, I can understand was stressful for a lot of people, and I can only relate to myself. Even though, yes, I've had my job, incomes that didn't change. Um, I have an apartment, have a girlfriend who still by my side. I was still going through a lot of stressors, um, and I don't want you guys to think, "Oh, is he okay?" I'm fine. I'm fine. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm okay. Um, but 2020 was a year where um, I was stressing so much, and for the wrong reasons. Well, a couple of them are for right reasons, but one of them specifically is for the wrong reason, and that is for Project Mark 7. As you guys know, that car has been around since September 2016, and it is now January 2021. So we're coming up 4 plus years, like 4 years and some change with this platform and this vehicle. And I assured you guys, if you guys have not checked my Instagram, again, I don't post on YouTube daily. I post on my Instagram daily. So if you want to follow that, that is JR14YT. And even Instagram, I fell off a little bit. Um, and and there's reasons for it. If you guys don't know, if you check my lives or if you check my stories on JR14YT, that's my Instagram name. You guys have known that I picked up a second position. I picked up a second job, Grubhub. Um, Not that I needed it. Just wanted to make sure I make some extra money. It's cold. It's New York. Everything's shut down. The pandemic shut everything down. We can't even go to a restaurant to eat. We're scared to see our friends because we don't know who's been involved with COVID and stuff like that. So it puts a bear on a lot of things. Um, and me, I'm a social butterfly. I love to be sociable, but the fact that this pandemic has strict me from being sociable, um, has made me really stressed out a little bit. So basically what I'm saying is that I picked up a second position with Grubhub, make some extra money in the winter time until maybe this blows over or things get at least a little bit better. Um, and I don't know if I'm going to do this all the time. I don't know if this is something I'm going to be doing permanently, but I enjoy it. It's fun to do. I wouldn't. I'm not about that, but I'm about working hard in any type of position that I do. It's easy money. So for me, I like to. I'm a social person. If I can just like, hey, here's your order. Have a great day. And even someone had a bad day, just wanted to order some food, and to have someone with a smile on their face delivering that food, maybe that is the type of motivation they needed for that day. Now, that's why I intended to do that, but I also lost sight of that myself. And the reason for that is, like I said, going back to the car. Now, the car, Project Mark 7 is great. It's very fun. It's very fast. It looks great. Um, it runs great when it's running. Let's just say that. When it's running, it's great. It's a great platform. It's fun to drive. I enjoy it. However, when stuff breaks on it, not as even as you watching my channel, the person who has this vehicle for the channel, you guys expect to see content on it. And this is not your fault. I don't want you guys to think that I'm not blaming you guys. It's not your fault. This is all coming from me. This is stress that I developed on myself and pressure that I developed on myself. Me, I don't like failure. Me, I don't like um, not being able to do what I set out to do. Me doing that and failing in that process puts me in a negative space. Meaning, if you guys expect to see content on this car, the Civic, which I'm sure most of you guys really don't want to see based on the numbers, but I'm not getting into that. Um, and, I'm unable to provide you that content, puts a damper on me, the motivation, the grind. And it's because you guys supported me, right? And it's not, again, I'm not blaming you guys. It's not that at all. It's just something that I personally developed in my mind, and it bothered me. And it bothered my psyche a little bit. To the point where I was in a negative space. And something clicked. And it was actually New Year's Day. You guys saw the post on my Instagram. Happy New Year's. Car on a tow truck. Never fails. I'll explain what happened in a second because a lot of you guys are asking. And hold that thought because I think we have questions.
They asked that what happened mechanically to the GTI.
Okay, great. So I'm glad that you guys asked that. See, my girlfriend helps out. I used to do this by myself and just like but this is smooth transitioning right now. So, mechanically, meaning, well, that could be engine, that could be trans, that could be suspension, that could be drivetrain, which is transmission. Now, drivability. Now, when I picked up the car, now I just want to give you a backstory. When I say this really quickly, European Auto's been fucking, I just cursed. Oh my god. It's alive. It happens. My bad. YouTube, don't demonetize me, please. European Auto has been so good to me when it comes down to if this thing goes down, if it breaks, and I apologize for the cursing. It's my bad. When it comes down for the car doing what it needs to do and failing sometimes at that, European Auto, Felipe, Jonathan, Gio, Anave, Yeldy, Kevin, um, y'all all, I don't think Louis, and everybody in that family, even when I want to get the GTI clean that day. Oh, YP Auto Detail, Yuri, when I want to get that beautiful TCR wrap that you guys see, BJ, um, and it's just that family, and even Turtle's performance next door, even that, and but you know, everybody um, has always supported me. We joke around, we have a good time. They always try to keep me in good spirits, and when I need help, they're always there to help. Um, and that's what I'm holding on to in this, even though the GTI is broken, and I'm gonna get into the reasons why really quickly. I needed to mention that. So New Year's Eve, I went to European Auto. We found this bar sensor. I'm talking about it's this small. If anybody knows map sensors, I believe there's put sensors and map sensors, MAP sensors and put sensors. I believe the put sensor, and correct me, God Mark 7 guys, if I'm wrong. I get this mixed up all the time. There's a sensor that goes into the manifold itself, and there's another sensor that goes in the throttle pipe before it goes through the throttle body. So there's two sensors. One measures air before and after the throttle body. Obviously, as you guys know, I'm running an L500, all this other stuff. I have upgraded bar sensors that will allow the car to see a wider range of PSI from the stock sensors. One of those sensors, well, the issue before, the reason the car wasn't initially, the car kept running really rich, meaning that if you get on boost, not a lot of black smoke, but smoke would blow out the exhaust on boost. The car would just not idle at all correctly. It just would not. Sometimes it would shut off on its own. Sometimes it just wouldn't want to run properly. Again, I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm in an apartment building, so you will hear exterior noise. Me and Gio figured it out. The only code that came up was P0106, which was basically that sensor malfunctioning. So, in the real world, he's like, okay, you need a new sensor. Your sensor probably is malfunctioning. We need a new sensor. I just put the sensor in when I did the engine build, but again, parts fail. Problem is, I could not find the sensor anywhere. And shout out to Europa Parts because they ordered it from Germany for me. That's where I ordered the part initially, so maybe there was some type of warranty on it, which there is. Thank you very much for all the customer service with that. I'll be sending you the old one back. So I'll be sending you that back soon, but it's with the GTI now. Car idled funny, but then Gio assumed that it was pretty much, adaptations. The car's been sitting there for 3 weeks as we were waiting for this part. We got it, and the car ran well. It ran better than what it ran before. So maybe the car just needed to stretch its legs. It's been sitting. It just needs to be driven. German cars especially don't like to sit for long periods of time and then just drive normally. It's not a Honda. That was a shot, but it's fine. But I drove the car. Car drove great. Drove it all the way back from Oceanside back to New Jersey, my apartment. Everything was great. I was happy. We're gonna go out for the evening, and I wanted to take the GTI. Gio said, drive the car. That's the only way it's gonna fix itself. Drive the car. The adaptations will relearn itself, and maybe the idle will be better. So I was driving the car. Me, my girlfriend's sister, we were going to where we had to go. And I heard a loud pop. And my girlfriend noticed it because she felt clunking by her feet. And I'm hearing this loud knock, 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 knock sound. Every time I go over like a big bump, not small bumps, but big bumps, excuse me, I would hear a clunk, clunk, clunk sound. and it was bad. Like it was metal on metal. Like whatever was there supporting it's not there anymore. So I'm nervous because this is just, it sounds like it's suspension if I'm going over bumps, and New York City roads, as you guys know or don't know, are horrible, and they're not getting better. And basically, what ended up happening, I got to my destination. I just looked for about 5-10 minutes, and I was able to easily see the problem. So if you guys know, I have H&R coilovers, and H&R, I think RS or RSS coilovers. They're street performance coilovers, meaning that there's no dampening adjustment, and that there's no camber adjustment. It's just spring rate against the stock top hats and strut bearings and height. So I had those on the car for a few years, this, that, and the third. Now, pretty much what ended up happening was the bolt that bolts up to the body on the top in the center where the strut would bolt up to the top, sheared off. And it's basically the strut is no longer supporting the dampening. So the only thing supporting the bumps at the time was the spring. So I can't get no rebound at all anymore from the shock itself. So the only thing supporting this car is the spring. I only drove it about 4 miles. It was we were close to where we had to be. So I just limped the car there. The car's fine. And it sucks because New Year's Day I had to figure out the towing situation. At that point I was really upset. At that point I was really upset. I lost sight of what this car actually is. The first word in that whole series, Project Mark 7. It's a project. It's not OEM anymore. It's my fault, but it's not OEM. It's not original equipment manufacturing. It's not OEM. So when you really think about, stuff's gonna fail. I got really upset. I showed that anger, and I was just really out of place about it. But then I really had to take a step back to clear my mind, and really understand something, right? And that's the message. If you guys went on my Instagram last night, I did an Instagram live last night, and I'm doing a YouTube live today, and I just want to let everybody know things will get you frustrated in life. It could be money, it could be your career. For me, it's a combination of things. But again, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm going through it, and I'm just gonna take it a step at a time to get back to where my mental is. Mental health is the number one priority. You have to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you can't focus on doing a task if you're not mentally prepared for it. Like mentally prepared and mentally there to make sure that these issues get resolved. And you need to be in the right state of mind to make sure you can focus on your goals and stuff like that. I have goals. I know everyone in this room has goals. If you don't have goals, get some, because everyone needs goals. That makes you motivated in life. So, just make sure. Oh, hang on. We have another question.
BM717252 said, one more question.
Mm-hmm.
How reliable is a Unitronic Stage 2 on a Golf R?
Okay. Unitronic, there are plenty of tunes out. You have Integrated Engineering, you have Cobb, you have Unitronic, you have Eurodyne, you have a bunch of different platforms. APR, but you can't go Stage 2 with APR anymore due to the federal mandate, so they don't offer Stage 2 anymore. So the other 4 that I mentioned are your only options. I would say that honestly, Unitronic's a safe bet. The number one dealer for that is if you're in the area. If you're in the New Jersey area, Europa Parts is a Unitronic dealer. If you're not, and you wanted to go ahead and order it, you can order it from Europa Parts, or my guys over in Charlotte, North Carolina, Deutsche Auto Parts or ShopTap. There are a specific Unitronic dealer that'll help you with Unitronic aftermarket parts, such as intercoolers and downpipes and intakes and all that stuff. but also if you wanted to go ahead and get their tunes, these are the same companies or vendors that will be able to supply you with that. Now, my thoughts on it, I actually, if you guys don't remember my old videos or remember this guy, JSMK7 on YouTube, he doesn't make YouTube videos anymore, but he was strictly Unitronic on his Mark 7 GTI. And I can definitely tell it was less aggressive than mine, but still reliable. I actually was able to race me and my girlfriend when we went down to um, Uraka, not this past year, but the year before in 2019. I was able to have an opportunity to race on track against a TTRS with Unitronic Stage 2 tune and can come close to it. So if Unitronic is the route that you feel like you should go, by all means, go down that route. Nothing wrong with Unitronic. They make really good stuff. See, that's why I didn't want to answer questions because I forgot what I was going to say. But we have another question now. So go ahead.
Grasshopper.
And is he Ricky Grasshopper?
Just as grasshopper.
Ricky, is that you? That might be Ricky. I don't know. What about the Cobb Access port, right? Okay. The Cobb Access port, I love it. Really great unit. I love the guys over there at Cobb Tuning.
It's Ricky.
It is Ricky. I figured that. Cobb is great. If you are planning to eventually go pro tuning, meaning if you want a custom map for yourself, if you're going to go as extensive as I did, or if you just want to get the full potential out of your motor, if you do an IS-38 swap, or if you're a hybrid IS-38, I would suggest going Cobb because it's the easiest platform to do custom mapping. Unfortunately, Unitronic doesn't offer custom mapping. Also, who else? Integrated Engineering doesn't offer custom mapping, but their off-the-shelf maps are really good too. And the thing I like about Cobb is that they give you stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3 maps, off-the-shelf maps with the unit itself. You can order it from cobbtuning.com, or you can order it from where I ordered it from, MAperformance.com, which then offers, they have stage 1, stage 2 off-the-shelf maps that they created with their own Project GTI that they have, as well as an E30 map that they offer as well. I believe those tunes are $75 if you wanted to buy their off-the-shelf maps. I personally ran them on my car. They're great, all three of the maps. I ran their stage 1, stage 2, and their E30 map as well. So hopefully, I mean, if you want to go Cobb, very user-friendly. You can sell it after you're done with it, which means they usually go for on the used market anywhere from $500 to $550. New, they're $650. So you're only missing out on like $100. But yeah. Next. That was it? That was the other questions?
Just the IS-38.
What do you mean? Just an IS-38? Well, yeah. I actually have in Mexico have had some encounters with some custom map IS-38 cars, and they run very differently than off-the-shelf maps. Off-the-shelf maps, everyone has to understand, and I am going to be making a video about this, about tuning, about what's the difference between off-the-shelf maps and pro tuning, the type of tunes you can get, and this is strictly for Mark 7, Mark 7.5 GTI, and R, and possibly maybe even the Mark 8 when it comes out. So going back to what I was saying, make sure really quickly before I lose track, I really want to get this message across because it has affected me. I just want to really make sure that I relay this to you guys, because if you're going through something, COVID really will really make you feel a way. If it's financially, if it's your job, if it's family that you lost or are losing, God forbid, if someone's just sick, if you can't even see them, I can understand that wholeheartedly. So just make sure that you take the positives, right? I have my job. My girlfriend has her job. We're in good health. We weren't exposed to COVID, I don't think. No, we weren't. I don't know. It's been March. It's been since March. I don't know. But we're fine. We're okay. I was still able to do some things. This is not how I wanted 2020 to be. I really wanted to do a lot of things with you guys. Waterfest I missed. I missed all the cool shows this year because of COVID, and you know it sucks. Like, you guys look at me as, you know, someone that represents the Mark 7 community. And I take that into, and it's, even though I take it to high strands with that, my girlfriend didn't really understand it the first year we were dating, but she understands it now because you guys, even to these shows, you come up and you go, thank you so much, this, that, and the third. I appreciate your advice. I appreciate the videos you make. Puts me in a really good space. Not, not that I'm saying that good comments is what I need to feel good or to feel positive, because I don't. But the appreciation means so much. And the fact that I was not able to get that or see that or share this moment with you guys. You guys now haven't even seen Project Mark 7 with the built motor after 2019. The car's been fixed for a year. But you guys haven't seen it because we haven't been to any shows, we haven't been to any track days. I've been having issues after issues after issues, fuel pump controller issues, now suspension issues, bar sensor issues, all this other stuff. So I just want to make this before Sasha reads that next question, because I know she'll like before she has a question, so before she reads a question. But I want to get this point across really quickly. We're going to go into questions, and then after that, we're going to do some unboxings, because I want to talk to you about my plans in the future, what I want to do, what I'm thinking about doing, not a guaranteed set in stone type of thing, but something that I want to do. Now, whatever is going on in your life, if it's money, if it's family, if it's friends, if it's everything else, if it's if it's your job, if it's your career, if it's the way you feel, just always try to grasp the positives. And if you think there are no positives, think about it like this: you're still here. At the end of the day, you may be struggling, but you're still here. You still have air in your lungs. You still have food in your belly. So if it's to that, I don't think it's to that point, but if you're like rock bottom, just make sure that you always realize that there's a positive. And shoot, I know I don't answer DMs that much, but if you have a question or anything like that, if you want to just talk or anything like that, shoot me a DM. That's fine. What's my thoughts on this, X, Y, and Z? I'd be more than happy to answer your questions about stuff like that. And yeah, okay, all right. So we spent about, I can't even see the time, but we spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time talking about that. 27 minutes. Okay, good. So we're literally on time. I wanted to spend half the time doing that and half the time talking about what to expect in the future. I don't know how long in the future, but we're going to talk about the immediate future of what I can obtain now, and then the late future of what I possibly may want to do in the late future. So Sasha, go ahead, read that next question.
Okay, so BM717252 also said that MK8R is going to be expensive. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh God, that was not the question I wanted to hear. But it's all right. So my girlfriend doesn't know this, but because I haven't talked to her about it yet, but I'm about to talk to her now. All right. So Project Mark 7, I've literally done everything with that platform, right? And matter of fact, that's not your question. Your question is Mark 8R is going to be expensive. What are my thoughts on that? It is going to be expensive. I don't know the price, but I can basically go off of a DSG Mark 7.5R, which is around $42,000 before tax. Now, here's my problem with that. I'm going to sound like a hypocrite in a minute, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. If you really are trying to figure out, now, in my experience with Project Mark 7, from a dig, is it worth it? Maybe not 10 grand worth it, but I see the reason of the R. There is a place for the R, because literally an R will walk me from a dig. With my setup, I'll just spin first, second. If we do a roll, that's a different story. But from a dig, from a drag race, and that's where the R shines. The R really does shine with bolt-on mods and tunes and maybe some even E85 in the tank. It really does benefit from a dig. Now on track, you have to really understand that as well, because of the fact that, it probably will weigh 300 pounds more, and this, that, and the third. But the price point, 42,000, let's just say inflation, because the next model is always going to be expensive than the previous model, so let's just add $1,000 to that, or just 2,000. So it's going to be about $45,000. Ooh, now, is it worth it? Maybe, maybe not, and I say this why. Other potential cars that are in that range are RS3, and the problem with the RS3 is that now you're talking about another 6,000 to 8,000 on top of that. You're talking about a $55,000, $60,000 car at that point. Now, an RS3 will always outshine an R, in my opinion, because it's a 5-cylinder, this, that, and the third. Is it worth the money? I went to Audi dealerships all the time. They're still charging high dollar for that car. So, I think my thoughts on it, I think it's going to be okay. Obviously, I think, like every other R, I think it's going to sell well. And this, that, and the third. So, I mean, hopefully that answers your question. I think it may be worth it to an extent. If you can get a deal on one, don't pay over sticker for that car. If the dealership marks that car up, which most likely they will because they'll start coming out in limited quantity, um, do not pay over MSRP for that car. It's not worth it because the hype will come down, then they'll sell for MSRP. Then in a couple of years after that, they won't be able to sell them because they're still sitting on a lot. Then you can talk them down. So that's it.
Okay, Carlos Lopez said, I have the original APR high torque 93 tune, and it's been safe for 70K miles.
Mhm.
It's a shame the new APR tune is so trash. I feel people steer away from APR now. But APR Stage 2 is not offered now.
Mhm. That's a question.
I mean, that's a statement.
Okay, that's a statement, right? You also got to remember this. It sucks, and this is why I say APR is off the table when it comes to stage 2, right? But you still have other companies such as Cobb, Unitronic, Integrated Engineering. These companies still offer stage 2 maps. Now, the reason why is because there's a federal mandate now that requires, companies, and APR is the biggest aftermarket company for Volkswagen, Skoda, Seat, Volkswagen, Porsche, Lamborghini, and Audi. So you also got to realize, I think I said Audi twice. But it does suck because now APR's tunes have to follow federal mandates or they're not allowed to sell. Now APR, knowing that they're an aftermarket company, is gonna, I hate to say it like this, bend over for the federal government because they need to sell stuff. And it's gonna hurt them a lot that a lot of cars that want to go APR stage 2